Elsewhere, Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun has vowed not to allow residents to erect structures without building approval and other necessary documents. The governor spoke while reacting to questions from journalists about Datkem Plaza, which was partially demolished by officials of the Ogun State Planning and Development Authority for violating physical planning laws. But in a swift reaction, the media consultant to Senator Gbenga Daniel, Steve Olide, said Governor Abiodun cannot claim ignorance of the structure, which he says was duly approved.
After they sent that contravention notice in May 2022, they sent a stop order notice to Datkem. They followed that stop order with another stop order. Again, they sent 3 stop orders. They sent a violation order. They sealed the premises. The owners of Datkem, in their minds, must have felt that they were above the law because they were totally recalcitrant.
For further perspectives on the rift between the Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, and former Governor, Senator Gbenga Daniel, I'm being joined on the news at 7, right here in the studio, by the Director, Datkem Enterprises, Abayomi Lawal. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7.
Thank you.
Well, can you quickly tell us the level of demolition? Because we understand it's more than what we see on the outside.
The demolition that caused on the building is quite enormous, that the integrity of that building is no longer there. They entered through a very powerful jackhammer, destroyed some of the floors, and we couldn't enter, but we can see it from outside. When we went there to see what is really happening, they removed all the windows, all the fittings. This property, this project has since been completed 98%. Because we are almost a project that we commenced since 2009. We have the approval since 2009 by the same Ogun State government. And the poor woman who was the project, Her Excellency Funke Daniel, the project belongs to her and her children. The word that came is an acronym of the names of the children and her good self. Yes, a wife to His Excellency now Senator Daniel. Does not mean that the husband will not have any input on being an engineer, but he has never been come to that project since day one we started the project. He only came around 28, which was a Monday of August, to come and see at least 1 or 2 things there. That was all. A day or 2 after, we now see a total strange thing coming onto us in a very rapid assault, which I see as a total disservice to us, because as a law-abiding citizen of this country, what we have done so far, when we commenced the project last year, we approached, I myself approached the zonal office of the civil planning at Jebode. The officer then was Mr. Oduwole. He attended to us, and initially, the first notice sent to us was that we don't have approved plan. How hard we embark on such a giant building, we won't have approved plan. Then we now brought out our home approval. They said at the Abeokuta office, they don't have our file again, but they could find a copy of that approval at their zonal office. Fine. What I believe that it could be done, yes, contravention notice was the second one, that yes, cantilever needs to occur at a point at the ground floor, and it's not there. They now ask us to do amendment to the approval. This is the approval. This is the approved plan of the project, done and approved by the same Ogun State government since 2009. And this is the amendment to the approval. You can see. This is the structural drawing. This is this. This set of approval was submitted to the office of zonal office of Ogun State Fiscal Planning and Authority, received by one Yusuf Babatunde from the office, duly signed and received, that he has collected this amendment to approval, just to correct whatever impression they have on the convention. Those are the 2 notices that is best known to me as a person. And any other one, we have never received any notice of demolition until when they start bringing in sort of things that is not even part of what we have on record. We just suddenly see them sometimes in August 1 saying that this building has not got approval. The person who led the team was the acting general manager now, town planner, James, who said, I said, well, thank God, your zonal officer that is here now who took office from the previous owner officer, Oduwole Amsat, told me, he quite understanding that we have approval. So with that, he said, yes, they have. Then the general manager was now querying the owner officer in the presence of our premises there. That you would have listed them along the people that want to see their property.
All right. All right, Engineer Lawal. There's a lot involved in this. You have mentioned the contravention notice and all of that. And we also know from the document that is available to TVC News, we saw the response of Ogun State Government saying that your 500,000 naira payment for regularization does not connote approval of permits of the office building. What exactly does this mean?
The same Ogun State Government gave us a letter to go and pay for unseal, and of which they said this is a copy of the letter.
I have a copy here.
You have a copy?
Yes, please. They
say we should unseal. Let me, if you can permit me to read. They make reference to the correspondence that I wrote across to them on the matter in 2nd August. And the same office wrote that they are directed to inform me and the company that your appeal to unseal your office building has been granted and you are to pay the unsealing fee of 500,000 naira to Wema bank account of the organization of the permit. Kindly note that you are to regularize your building permit within 21 days of the unsealing. And we made this payment at the 8th of August. I was there at their office to submit the letter of covering. That look, this is the stand that we are on. We have paid for whatever you asked us to pay. Now let's start regularization. That is what we have in mind. The PI said there's no problem. But what disheartened my heart was that same office, this is the receipt of the payments we made to the authority account. And they did not acknowledge that receipt until when we now say, look, on the covering letter that I put against that was the one I now quoted that, look, the payment SY said you asked us to make, we've paid. And sometimes ago, when you talk of regulation, we started since last year. Absolutely,
Engineer Lawal. And, in the midst of all of this, out there, the insinuation is that this is political rather than violation of the building code. How true is this insinuation?
Yes, I have some proof, because from the inception of that project, when Otumba Garande has not been coming, it's not informed at all. The week he came, that is 28th Monday of August. 2nd, 3rd day, we start seeing some sort of rampant harassment from the angle of Ogun State government, bringing all sorts of frivolous notices and what have you that does not happen. The same day they brought this, there's no day they even bring us the demolition notice. And what I understand, if I thought they give us a notice that they seal us, there are certain stages they have to follow. The extant law that was agreed upon that they first give us the approval in 2009 was that process of 14 days, 7 days, and 3 days thereafter, maybe we submitted. But the one they are now quoting in their letter, the letter they submitted 4th of September, they are now saying they are making reference to a law that they made last year, 2022. And what I believe is that office is continuum. Whatever authority being made, and we commence, if only we are trying to affect, that's a different thing. This is something that's almost concluded. The pity thing is that the poor woman who owns the project, she put pieces and everything together to make sure that project comes to reality. This is a project she has started 14 solid years. Herself, her children, they have suffered a lot in bringing this together. And with facility collect here and there. This is not something that is of Daniel descent. Yes, his family, no problem. But is it a crime now that her husband should be in politics and she should be treated in this manner? What I believe is political vendetta.
All right, then. And we know that already you have filed a stay of execution. We'll wait to see how, in the days ahead, matters unfold regarding this Datchems Plaza.
Sure.
We have been speaking with Director Datchems Enterprises, Abayomi Lawal. Thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 7.
Thank you for having me.